Once upon a time, in a world hidden within our own, there existed a community veiled in secrecy and shrouded in mystery, the world of Scientology. In the shadows of this world lived its most vulnerable inhabitants, its children. These are not just any children, their stories and development are entwined with the doctrines and demands of a belief system that stretched beyond ordinary understanding. Woven around the coded language and tales of a science fiction writer's script, of many past lives, other universes, and a mission with incredible urgency, to save mankind. These children are raised to believe they are ageless, so not really children at all, but equals, who need to contribute just as much as adults. In this strange world, all bad things that happen to you are deserved. There are no victims, no matter how small. The first of these children are the public kids, offspring of devout parishioners, participating in rigorous practices and rigid beliefs, their lives revolving around the pursuit of a higher Scientological state. Next are the org kids, whose parents committed themselves to the organization through short-term contracts, for very little pay. These children grow up in the thick of Scientology's regimen, their childhoods a patchwork of doctrine and duty, and not much time spent with parents, forced to live hand to mouth. Often these children, treated as adults, raised themselves, and navigated life without supervision, as their parents climbed the bridge to total freedom and worked for the cause. Scientology's private schools like Delphi, Apple, and True School, and so many others shaped other children. Their education was unorthodox, framed by L. Ron Hubbard's study technology. Where classrooms are course rooms, teachers are supervisors. The emphasis is less on traditional learning and more on indoctrination into the ways of Scientology. Any of these children who struggled could be sent away to rehabilitation ranches, like Mace Kingsley or Mojave, places far removed from the norms of regular schooling, where they would be broken of their behaviors or age out. These ranches were all discipline, punishment, and lots of hard labor. The most devout and immersed of all are the Sea Organization kids. Born to parents who had pledged themselves to a makeshift army for 1 billion years, donating their own and their children's lives to the cause. These children's lives were starkly different. They had no escape from Scientology every moment of every day, year after year. Raised in communal environments, their upbringing is a blend of minimal education, maximum indoctrination, elaborate role-playing, and lots of work. These children were once raised on a ship, later in land bases near their parents, but eventually were shipped away to remote ranches as well, to keep them from being a distraction from the organization's important work and prepare them to do it themselves. Their existence is a far cry from typical childhoods, no playful escapades, no lazy afternoons, just endless labor and the pursuit of Scientology's goals, drilling, marching, and statistics. This reality was segregated, insulated, and completely militaristic, with the goal to mold them into assets, small soldiers of Scientology. Children who tried to fight this system were placed in self-contained prison camps, and not allowed any privileges or to speak unless spoken to. Their days were nothing but confessing their crimes, interrogations, and hard manual labor. This childhood existed for several decades until one day the Sea Organization said, no more kids, but existing children were trapped, already in the system. Most of these children's stories are of blind faith and obedience. But some children, as they grew, began to see the cracks in the facade, the lies in the system, or the rigors and pain of this life became too much. They dreamed of a life beyond the harsh confines of their Scientological bubble, and as their doubts grew, and they dared to question, some were cast out, and some escaped. Freedom, but at a great cost. Make amends to the group for abandoning it, pay any debts for its teachings, and never ever speak of the harm they suffered, or else no contact with their former life, family, or friends. It was a difficult reality, but once they were safe, they found one another, carefully, and compared notes. Their whispers turned into conversations and conversations into loud voices, and a movement began to take shape. These survivors, once children themselves, now adults, banded together. Their mission was clear, to expose the truth of their childhoods and to end the cycle of indoctrination and exploitation of kids. They wrote books, participated in interviews, appeared on television, created websites and forums, and some even started podcasts like the Lighthouse Project, all aiming to shine a light on the reality of growing up in Scientology, so often overshadowed by tales of celebrities and aliens. They persisted, and their efforts were not in vain. The tide began to turn. Awareness spread, And slowly but steadily, changes started to take root. They filed lawsuits, filed police reports, and met with the government. They protested, had retreats, created peer support groups, initiated art projects, fundraisers, and so many community efforts, even their own foundation, dedicated to supporting the healing and recovery of children like them, who had endured similar fates. Their journey was long and fraught with challenges, but it was driven by a steadfast resolve to be the heroes they never had but desperately needed. They hoped one day Scientology parents would help expose what was done to their own children, and what so many adults had witnessed, but never stepped in to intervene. They aspired for a future where authorities and legislation would intervene, ensuring no child would ever again endure what they had. And so, in this tale of resilience and courage, the moral is clear: the children of Scientology are not just the offspring of its followers, they are individuals molded, often unwillingly, by an overpowering system. Their stories serve as a reminder of the profound impact belief systems can have on young lives and the power of unity and courage in confronting and changing deep-rooted injustices. Thank you for listening, and for doing what you can to help. Together we can ensure children get to be children, and then one day, become healthy leaders of our world.